So, welcome everyone to our weekly Thursday interviews. Welcome to our new platform, Be Connected. So, if you're joining us live, would you write in the chat that you live? And if it's the replay, and tell us where you are coming in from. I'm coming in from Mexico. And my guest is Jill Angie. Jill, where are you coming in from today?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Woo, hoo, hoo. Okay, so usually what I like to do is talk about what we have in common. We have running in common. Can you believe that? Not too many people have running in common. Now, I'm no longer a runner, but I did for 17 years. And let me tell you that it has affected my health in a big positive way. Now, running is what Jill Angie is all about. She's going to talk to us about that today. She's impacting other women's lives and making a big difference in the world. And we are trailblazers, and we are modeling for the younger generation of women. So we're both into impacting other people's lives. So you said you were from Philadelphia, Jill. Were you born there?
No, I was originally born in Rochester, New York, and I've lived, around New York State, around Pennsylvania. I lived in New Jersey for a little while, but Philly's really been home for about 20 years, and I really like it here.
Philly. I love the way they say Philly.
Yeah.
Philly, for those of you who are maybe in the UK, that's short for Philadelphia.
It's where the Declaration of Independence was signed of the US. So that's our claim to fame.
Well, that's very important for people to know. If but mostly people usually know a little bit about the U.S. and know that. So thank you for reminding us of that wonderful place where you live. Let's talk about you and what you do, because I'm very inspired by you. And I want to know what inspired you to create the Run Your Best Life coaching program, and how it has evolved over the years. And I think it's 10 years that you mentioned, and how it has evolved to empower women over 40 in their running journey and in their body confidence, because that's one of the big goals that you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of what I do is
Mhm.
specifically helping plus size women feel more confident in their bodies. And one of the ways we do that is through running. So I have been a plus size woman probably since I was about 21 years old, right?
Wow.
Maybe even younger than that. And so I was always taught that you should always be striving to be thin, and that
I
being
know.
thin is a sign of success. And it's just, my mom was of a slightly different generation than I am. And she was a housewife in the 50s, and very much that was just, her worldview. And so she passed it on
Absolutely.
to me, as one does, with the best of intentions. And so I spent a lot of, I also come from a family that tends to be on the plump side no matter what we do. That's just our genetics. So it's sort of like a lose-lose kind of thing. But what I think, like, what happened is, I spent probably from I think I went on my first diet at age 12, and
Mm.
I think I went on my last diet at age 40, and I realized, like, this is ridiculous. And I started running in my 20s because I thought it would help me lose weight. It didn't really help me lose weight. But it did help me build my confidence. It helped me feel a lot like better about myself, about my body, about myself as a person. It was just a really good activity for me to be
Right.
doing. And so I started doing it more, and some of my friends were like, wow, that's really cool that you're running, and maybe I could do it too. And one day in my early 40s, I just got sick and tired of the corporate world and decided I was ready for something different. And so I quit my job. I thought about it a little bit first.
Right.
I'd had some money saved up, and I gave myself a year to transition. But I opened a personal training studio specifically for plus size women. And then I started coaching runners online as well. And that was about 10 years ago. And it's been way more exciting and impactful on my life and other people's lives as well than my corporate job ever was. So
Oh my God.
it's
You
been
know,
great.
Jill, you've mentioned so many things. I mean, the cultural limiting belief that has been ingrained into women, especially in the American culture.
Yeah.
You mentioned the global culture because it is global at this point, is something that limits women so much.
Hmm.
And you talk about you come from a plump family. Well, to tell you the truth, my younger brother, and I are the only skinny ones. So they say we're skinny ones in the family, and everybody else is plump. I mean, and they're happy and they're jovial, and yes, they're concerned. I'm of course more concerned about their health, but it is something that's so pervasive in the American culture that it limits women so much. I so admire you for taking this big step, not only leaving your corporate job, but doing something that impacts other women's lives. I mean, really, it's you're to be commended in so many ways. I want to ask you, in your 10 years of online business, and that is 10 years ago, it wasn't the thing to do.
Yeah.
In your 10 years of online business, how have you seen, I want to use the landscape change for women seeking, transformative
Mm.
coaching programs, and what role has the community played in that evolution? I mean, this is huge.
So yeah, 10 years ago, I was the only person I knew that was
Sure.
that was specifically saying, "Hey, I can help you. You know, if you are living in a larger body, in a plus size body, and you are sick and tired of going to the gym and having people give you a
Mhm.
diet or tell you how to lose weight, if you're just like, I just want to exercise in the body I have now, and I
Right.
don't want anybody to tell me how to treat that body. I started finding like, hey, I wrote a book, and a lot of people found it. It was on Amazon. It got
Mhm.
downloaded over 100,000 times, which I'm really proud of.
Wow.
And people would write to me and say, hey, I never realized I could exercise without weight loss as a goal. I always thought the two things had to be tied together.
Right.
And so I started kind of like, there was just sort of this little community of women that were like, hey, we really like these ideas. And so I think, like, back then, now I have a group with about 30,000 women in it. And I
I
know
can't,
it's
I
amazing.
can't help saying, wow.
I know. Back then there were 300 women in the very first group, and it was kind of revolutionary. And I would get people writing
Right.
to me saying, one person said that I ought to be arrested for telling people that it was okay to just live their lives in their bodies and not constantly be striving to lose weight. I've been told that I'm lying to people, and that I should be
Mhm.
arrested, and that I should have my Instagram privileges like all the things.
But
Um
you're doing well when you have people,
exactly.
yeah,
And
against you
it's
like that. Yeah.
as my presence and influence has grown, the trolls have come out. So that's kind of been one big change that I've seen. Is
Mhm.
way back in the day, it was kind of a secretive thing that,
Right.
people were just like, well, I'm running, but I don't really talk about it. And you would go to a race, I would do a half marathon, and there'd be like a few other plus size people there. And now you go to these races, and there are lots and lots of bodies of all shapes and sizes. And on the end, there's lots of other running coaches out there doing what I do now. We all have our different way of approaching it, but it's changed a lot. And way back 10 years ago, I could run Facebook ads for like 50 cents and get
I
a whole
bet.
bunch of
Yes,
new people. Like, so
exactly.
yeah, everything in the online business world has changed. But I think, it's just speaking about Facebook ads from that perspective, like, I used to rely on that. And once I couldn't rely on that anymore as
Mhm.
a lower cost way of getting new people, I had to get creative. And the
Right.
more creative I got, the more I would like lean into my identity, and the more my following grew. So it's just kind of interesting to sort of like watch how everything evolved.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
unbelievable. And you did I hear you say 300,000 people you have following?
30,000 people,
Oh, 30.
30,000 people.
Well,
Yeah.
that in itself is huge. So tell me, you also mentioned a book. I am sure that the audience would love to know the name of that book. I wish we had a little uh, um, click here that we could just little
Well, it's
widget.
it's called
Could you,
Not Your Average Runner: Why You're Not Too Fat to Run and the Skinny on How to Start Today. And you
so
can find it
not
on Amazon.
So not your average runner. So if somebody goes to Amazon and puts in "Not Your Average Runner" by Jill Angie, they can find it, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
you're welcome.
so your coaching program is known really for, yeah. So you really emphasize the body positivity, and really what you're doing is embracing the athlete within us because we
Mhm.
all have it. So how do you foster that supportive and inclusive community? Because there's got to be a lot of doubt as women join the community and try and feel, oh my God, for women of all shapes and sizes, how do you support this community?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I mean, I think a lot of it is I've gone through all of it myself, and
Right.
so I can easily draw on my own experiences. I am a certified running coach. So I have, yeah, the professional certification that goes with that. So I know a lot about what is happening, when somebody is plus size and they're having, aches and pains and struggles. And so I can help with that. And
Right.
I'm also a certified life coach. So that's the skill that I bring, not necessarily of telling people what to do with their lives, but of helping them unpack some of the, internalized
Right.
negative thinking that they've got from just living their lives. Right? We pick up so much negative thinking about ourselves just from,
Oh, I know. As
being
a
humans
woman,
on this planet.
if it's not size, it's something else. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
we're just bombarded with the way we're supposed to look, and not
Yeah.
be thankful for the temple that we
Yeah.
live in, and that it's sacred no matter what size or proportion
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Can you share some success stories from the women who participated in the Run Your Best Life coaching program, and how that sense of
Yeah.
community has contributed to their personal growth and their achievements, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite stories is a woman named Karen, and she came to me, oh, it was probably 6 or so years ago. And she was in her 50s, and she's probably the age that I'm at right now. She's a
Right.
few years older than me. But yeah, she was in her mid 50s, and she saw one of my Facebook ads that said I can teach anybody to run. And she was, probably around 250-ish pounds at that time. And she clicked on the ad and she joined my program because she said, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I
Wow.
can't run. And I was like, ooh, let's go.
Wow. Wow.
She actually
What a
emailed me.
challenge.
I know. She said, I joined your program because I think you're wrong and I don't think you can teach me how to run. And about 2 years after that, she finished her first marathon. So
Oh,
I
God.
know. That's one of my favorite stories. And she's still a runner. And it's just, yeah, I think it's the mindset work that I teach is really
Mhm.
about learning how to believe in yourself, and not in a like Pollyanna, like, oh, everything's going to be fine kind
No,
of way, but in a realistic, like, what can I do in this body that I have right now? And how can I live my best life? And that's, sort of the work that I do. And then I also
it's
had,
the only place to start,
yeah,
really, when you think about
exactly.
it, you
Exactly.
know? Oh
Yeah.
my God, where are you now, and what can you do with what you have, I mean, really, what more could you do? So, oh, this is so, amazing to me, that what a wonderful that story that is, have many of your women gone on to do marathons or half marathons? I mean, as a runner, I never did more than 10K runs. I used to love them, but I never was, and it's not that I was overweight, but it just never inspired me to do a marathon. There must be something about maybe being overweight, and you find yourself that you can run, that well, maybe I can even do a marathon. Does that happen
Yeah.
often with women?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's almost in some people sort of a rebellious thing.
Right.
Like, okay, the world tells me that I shouldn't be able to do this.
Hmm.
Watch me, So I think a lot of my clients have that, but also I think a lot of them find that running is very soothing to them. It helps them, like, if they're, I work with a lot of women who are sort of kind of in the middle, right? That maybe they still have kids at home, and then they've got aging parents, and they've got a career, and they have a lot going on. And running is sort of that time that they can be just by themselves
Exactly.
and really take care of themselves. And so they're not really concerned with, like, oh, I don't need to lose weight so I can look good or whatever. Like, I just want to feel good in the body I have, and
Right.
running gives that to them. And so then if they've got like a really crazy crazy life, they can be like, sorry honey, I got to step out and do a 20-mile run today.
Exactly. I got to keep my mental going, my mental.
Exactly.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, because my mental health, because it's not just physical, but it's mental health for moms, especially busy moms who just never have a moment to get away. But then if they've dedicated this 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to,
Mhm.
just going
Yeah.
out there to being alone, it's plus communing with nature. How about
Yeah.
that? Huh? Oh my God.
And I do think there's an aspect of, like, it's not necessarily, and this is gonna, I don't have my own children, so for me, it's all fine and good. I get to do what I want. But I think,
Right.
like, for some moms, they feel some guilt taking time for themselves to go out with a
Right.
friend, or, to go to the movies or whatever. But I think there's, like, less guilt and more, there's a level of social acceptability of saying, well, I'm going out to exercise because, as our society believes that exercise is, you know, that
It's good.
you're a better person if you're taking care of
Right.
your health and all of that. And so I think it's easier for them to say, like, okay, I feel guilty if I go out with my friends, but I don't feel as guilty if I go out for a run because, everybody wins when I go running. So there might be a
Well,
little bit of that.
there's also it also fulfills the one of the basic needs that people have, and that's about the need of certainty. So
Mhm.
I'm certain that I'm going to go out for 20 minutes because I'm in control. But if I go out with my
Mhm.
friends, I'm not so certain that I can be back in 20 minutes or half an hour or so, you
Yeah.
know. So it certainly fulfills that need in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. Oh my God. So this is so, yeah, I wish we had uh, people who were here live so they could be asking questions, because I'm sure so many people would have 1,000 questions to ask you. Um, let's turn this a little bit. I met you on this new platform, Be Connected.
Mhm.
That's a new platform that we're using right now. This is a new platform where we are video conferencing right now. And can you tell me how this new platform has helped you to, to connect, to enhance your networking, and to help with your coaching program and your business overall?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the process of integrating it into my business, but I find it very helpful when I'm meeting one-on-one with a client, for example,
Hmm.
and I can just point and say, okay, right there to the left is, you can book your next call, right? There you go. It's
Right.
easy peasy. And also, if I'm doing a larger meeting with people and say I'm, teaching a free webinar or something like that, I can very easily pop up a button and say, okay, well, we're at the end of the webinar. Here you go. If you want to join the program, here's the
Right.
link. And then the link is right there in front of them. Yeah,
Right.
it's
So
great.
it's so much easier than other platforms that have been used before, where you've had to follow up with people, send them,
Yeah.
the information. And so this is one of the platforms that takes care of all of that.
Yeah.
Now, you and I had a discussion before this, and you told me that your plan is to retire in 4 years.
It is.
So, how is connected going to play that role in your business growth? Uh,
Yeah. So I have been looking for more passive income
mhm.
options and, like things, streams of income. And so Be Connected is going to be a big part of that because I'm an affiliate. And so, when anybody joins through my affiliate link, of course, like there's a nice, like a little commission, but like after a while it adds up.
The
And so
numbers adds up.
exactly. So that's so I'm 56 and I plan to retire at 60. I don't plan to just like walk away from everything, but I do, I want to have other streams of income. So being an affiliate for Be Connected is one of those streams. And then also I know that there's like, this is sort of behind the scenes, right? You know this and I know this, maybe not everybody does, but like there are some features that are coming to Be Connected next year that are going to help me make my business more of a passive income and less of a direct impact or direct interaction with
Mhm.
me. And so I'm going to be transitioning over to Be Connected for those pieces as well. So, just the next few years are going to be slowly me transitioning from like me doing a lot of the coaching to having things be more of a passive
Wow.
situation so I can go run more.
Exactly. I just recently um, attended Tony Robbins' UPW, and I remember something he said there, that a success without fulfillment is not happiness,
Mhm.
because success can mean so many different things to so many people. And yes, money is always part of it. Money is a great asset. It's a currency that can help us do so much, not only for ourselves, our family, but for other people. And
Mhm.
but there's such a fulfilling feeling when you're impacting other people's lives, like you're
Yeah.
doing with women. That do you see yourself not doing that in 4 years, or
Yeah, I don't I think I won't be able to completely give it up, I'll be honest, because I like to write, and so I'm thinking maybe it's gonna look different. I'll
right?
still be doing something, but it may be more, rather than me doing a lot of one-on-one coaching, it might be more, writing, maybe a Substack, maybe some new books, I don't know, who knows? But, like, I'm letting myself sort of be open now to it's going to sound weird, but I'm just waiting for the next phase of my business to reveal itself to me.
Right.
And I think it
That
will.
I love that, because I do believe that you put it out to the universe, and the universe just opens up and brings you
Mm,
the right people, the right circumstances, the right opportunities. And yeah, and so you
yeah.
have to trust in the process. Tell me, you're an accomplished author, you are an accomplished coach, obviously. You're also a podcaster, are you not?
I do. I have a podcast as well.
So what's the name of the podcast?
It's creatively not your average runner.
I love that you are consistent.
Yes,
Creatively not your what's it
average runner. Yeah,
average runner.
yeah.
Creatively not your average.
Yeah, no, creatively was just my joke aside. The name of the title is just not your average runner.
Okay, okay, well, that's good, because it is very creative, I think. So as an author, as a podcaster, as a coach, what advice do you have for aspiring entrepreneurs looking to build a successful an enduring online business, especially in the wellness and coaching space?
Mm. Okay, I think two pieces of advice that I have. And the first is um be yourself. Don't look at other people and say, "Oh, I have to do it this way because that's how they're doing it. He's doing it, she's doing it." Like you get to decide for yourself. There is no one right or wrong way to do business. Create something that works for your life, for your uh for your principles and for your desires. So that's one thing. And then two is be real specific on who you serve,
Right.
because I could have just been a running coach. And then people would be like, oh, do I like her? Do I not like her? Like there would have been a lot of like, oh, I just help everybody. It's really hard to
No,
market to everybody.
then
So
you
I
market to
decided,
nobody.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Mhm.
the people I market to is literally, and I use this word in my marketing, I say, I help fat women over 40 start running. That
That's
is,
very
that is
authentic.
my
Yeah.
very specific thing. And so, if women who feel uncomfortable with the word fat are going to be like, I don't want to work with her, because I will tell you, I am opinionated in my coaching. Women who are 25 years old are probably going to say, well, I don't know if she's not the right coach for me, right? So it's real. And women who aren't fat are also, usually not going to be too interested. And what that means is I get to talk really intimately with the people that I really, really want to help. And then the
Right.
rest of the people can find the right person for them.
Right. Oh, wow. No, actually, we need to realize that we will not resonate with everybody,
Mhm.
but there are people who will truly resonate with our authenticity, as you're talking about being authentic in who you are and what value you bring to people.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. So, is something that you would like to say to the audience that perhaps we haven't touched upon? Either about your coaching, about Be Connected as a platform that helps shape this platform may shape the next generation of digital business interactions. Really, I mean, we haven't seen. We're just seeing the beginning of this. So I don't know if there's anything that you want to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally, I think that we are seeing the beginning of the next Zoom, of the next Facebook. Like we are right now at the very beginning of the next big thing. And I
Mhm.
think within the next year or two, it's just gonna completely blow up. So I'm telling everybody I know, like, hey, get in now and establish yourself as an authority or expert in your field on this
Right.
platform, because it's going to be big.
It's going to be big.
So it's
Right.
going to be big. And I think the fact that you get video conferencing and streaming, and you get a community and you get groups, and pretty soon there's going to be some new, like, unbelievably cool features that are coming out in January. It's just get in now
Right.
before everybody else jumps on the bandwagon.
We are just in the beta phase. We are
Yeah.
growing, and so yes, absolutely. And I concur with you. The same message for me is I'm so excited about this platform and I'm so excited about being here at this time, this right
Yeah.
time. It's an amazing journey, and I'm so happy to be on this journey with you, Jill. I so
Yeah,
appreciate
same.
what you are doing for women. Yeah, I don't even want to say fat women, for women over 40 who want to be comfortable in their bodies. And
Yeah.
so that's the most important thing. You know,
Yeah.
you're given the body you have. Yes, it's sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes my mother, I was so skinny she couldn't eat enough to put weight on. So there's the other part too
Yeah.
to that. So I want to thank you, Jill, for being here today. You're certainly an inspiration to me, an inspiration to a lot of women, even men. I know that Brent has a comment there. I love to hear of your journey. It's great that you are so comfortable and authentic these
Thanks,
days,
Brent.
Jill. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Dr. Rich Ober says, love to hear more about joint injury prevention, strengthening, increasing mobility, and processed foods, cross training. Yeah, there's all of that. There's just so much that we can talk about, but here we're kind of limited with time. We're limited, with so many, because the health the health field is so varied that we just can't touch it all in 30 minutes.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
so thank you, Dr. Rich, for that. Everything is so important that you do mention, and Again, I want to thank you, Jill, for being here today. And I want to thank my audience, of course, for joining us today. And we will see you next week for
Thank you
an
very much.
awesome, you're very welcome, for another awesome weekly interview. Bye for now.
Bye.